So I'd like to start off by just thanking YEScarolina, giving me the opportunity to speak in front of you all. The thing I love most about YEScarolina is just the work that they do in such a unique way, which I think is really awesome. Yes, they're known for making entrepreneurs and teaching kids those values and how to make money and earn their own money. But I think what's really cool is what also that comes along with that. They make people who are leaders and who obviously have leadership characteristics. That's why they make it this far and that's why they join the program. But they make a certain type of leader that's smarter and more intuitive. And I think that's really, really cool. But the even cooler part about that is that they make people who are going to change the world by their creative thoughts and by the thinking process that they go through in these classrooms. I think that's just something that I really thank YEScarolina for doing, and what excites me even more is that I'm one of those offsprings that has been through that, went in it in the summer going into my 8th grade year, so I was technically still a 7th grader, and that's another aspect of YEScarolina that I just love, is the fact that they stay in the kids' lives and they continue to facilitate growth and they continue to encourage them to achieve great things. And as I'm here at the age of 18, a senior, when I took the class at the age of 13, it's just crazy to think about all the work they've done. So that's my big hoo-ah of the thank you to YEScarolina. And so now I want to talk a little bit more about the opportunities that I've gotten and the opportunities that they gave me, just endless and endless. So it started off, like I said, in 7th grade, and they had a biz camp at my school. And a teacher came up to me and she's like, "Hey, Jerome, you should take this business camp that's coming over." I was like, "All right, cool. She said, "Yeah, it's over the summer." I was like, "What?" I was like, no, you got me. Over when? How long? 3 weeks? But I was like, I'll think about it. And then so I go on, and it was Miss Zerps. I still remember her to this day. She taught me history, and then she said, "Hey, Jerome, did you hear about that biz camp that's coming over this summer?" And I was like, okay. So 2 teachers mentioned it to me, and back then I learned to take advice when handed it. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I think really why they want me in those business camps, because in 7th grade I was also known as the candy man. I would walk around, I was selling Starburst, Skittles, I had cargo pants full of it. So they were only the few teachers that knew about it, but so I guess they knew that they saw that entrepreneurial spirit in me already. But so I took the business camp and I did it and I was committed to it and I had fun, and then at the end of it I won it. And that was something that was mind-blowing to me, that the fact that I won it. And I had a great summer after that, and I started that business, and I ran that business, which was called the Handy Kid. It was a handyman service, and I did that for multiple years, and I used the money to buy me a lawnmower, and I had the Works GT, and so I was on the move with it. And fast forward a little bit, come 8th grade year now, and Mr. Jimmy Bailey comes walking into Zucker Middle School, and my principal calls me down to the office. And I'm scared. I'm thinking she's about to yell at me for selling candy in school. But that wasn't the case. I meet up with Mr. Bailey, and I'm like, who's this old man sitting cross-legged, no socks? And here I am today with no socks. I guess he rubs off on me. But he sits there, and he looks at me, and he's like, "It's between you and one other person, but I'm sitting here, I'm deliberating. But your teacher said, your YEScarolina teacher said that you're a really good kid, had to come meet you. But I want to know if you'll be interested in being the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year for South Carolina." And I'm sitting there as an 8th grader like, what? Like, I've never been presented with something nowhere near as prestigious as a title as that. I mean, I've done leadership things before, but like I said, I was only in the 8th grade. So, but I mean, hesitantly and nervousness and shocked, I said, yeah, I'll be that. And what that entailed was I was able to go to New York City, one of 25 students from around the world being recognized at this youth entrepreneurship gala. And when my grandma got wind of that, she went ballistic. She goes crazy. She's telling everybody, "Oh, my baby's the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year for South Carolina." So she's sending out press releases. She's sending out letters to everybody in South Carolina. Jim the Mint. She sent them to Mayor Keith Sumney. She sent them to Post and Courier. I got to be on the front page of Post and Courier because of my grandma's crazy enthusiasm. But it was all exciting stuff. I was in the Charleston magazine. I was interviewed multiple times. And then one of those letters really stuck. And that was the one that went to Mayor Keith Sumney. And he calls me down to his office. And he asks me, in City Hall, and he asks me if I want to come down there. And I say, yeah. And I go down with my grandmother and my grandfather, and we talk with him. And it was really cool because I got the experience to sit there and chat with the mayor of my hometown and build a connection. He told me his struggles, his son's struggles, and what things he learned working at a grocery store, old Piggly Wiggly, when he was growing up. And I was really interesting to me, the fact that I was able to create a connection with my mayor, something that not a lot of kids, not a lot of people get to do. But back to when I was in New York, you know, Jimmy Bailey flew me up there, and it was an amazing experience. And I got to meet those kids from around the world, from China, Israeli, and Brazil. And it was just, like I said, amazing. And then the most amazing part of that experience to me was when I got to meet Magic Johnson. He was there at this gala. And I was the first person I really had to look up to like that, but it was amazing. And then this is when I started developing the mindset of what I call it now, which is no opportunities wasted. Back then it was just someone's offering me something, I'm gonna take it. So I meet Magic Johnson. He shakes everyone's hand, takes a picture with him. Then after it, I walk up to him and I say, I was impressed. I was shaking. I barely could get the words out. And I was like, I was impressed with what you had to say. I heard you mentioning something about mentorship. Could you be my mentor? And he said, yeah, sure, I'll give you my number. He gives me his number. I go back home to Charleston with Magic Johnson's number. I get home, I call him. He doesn't call me back. But I took that opportunity, which was still an amazing experience. In my defense, that's when he got that deal with ESPN. He was newscasting, so he might not have had enough time. This is okay. But so I got to go to New York, first time flying, first time in New York, place I always wanted to be. And so I'm like, hey, this YEScarolina thing is awesome. And it just kept on going. It was an upward climb and an upward level to success that's still going for me. And I'm just extremely grateful for YEScarolina for all the things they've offered me and continue to offer me. Fast forward back to when I said how I met Mayor Keith Summy in my hometown, he calls me back up. About a week before a council meeting, he said, hey, talking to my grandmother, he says, hey, I want you and Jerome to come to this council board meeting. And then she tells me about it. I'm like, isn't that when they talk about fixing roads? At the time, I was going into my 9th grade year. I was like, I'm not really interested in that. But she said, if he calls you up personally, I think we should go. So I said, okay, we'll go. So we go there, and they had the council meeting. It was on July 28th. This is Thursday. This might sound kind of crazy why I remember the date, but I'll let you know why. So we go there, and he talks about they have their meeting, and at the end of it, he starts reading off my accolades and what I've done for my community. And then after he gets done with that, he says, that's why I now proclaim July 28th as Jerome Smalls Day. And right there, my mouth dropped, because at that moment, I got my own day in my hometown. But why? How come? Because I took the opportunity to meet my mayor, because I was given the opportunity to be the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year, or really because I was given the opportunity to attend a YEScarolina Biz Camp and have that teacher, Miss Jenny Whittle, develop a characteristic in myself that I already have but didn't know I have. And the opportunities still have been coming to me because of YEScarolina, because of Jimmy Bailey. Things that Jimmy Bailey do for me are endless. He finds work for me to do when I was doing the Handy Kid. He promotes me when he can. He's given me the opportunity and the ability to get paid to do motivational speaking, something that I dreamed about doing since a freshman. And he even is the reason why Senator Tim Scott is my mentor to this day, and why he's been able to open up doors for me, because Jimmy Bailey ran into this man in the airport and was like, hey, you need to meet this kid. And what I do, I get to meet, at the time, Congressman Tim Scott, and now he's my mentor. And I just have all the utmost respect for YEScarolina, for everything that they've done for me. And now, because of them, they instilled the ability for me to speak in front of you, and they instilled the ability for me to be a leader in my school. I'm doing things that I know will last a lifetime, and I'll be proud in 20 years to say that I've been able to start. At my school, we started a thing with my DECA organization, called Professional Dress Day, where once a month we encourage the kids to dress professionally. And we have Resume Day, where we help stay after school and we teach kids how to build a resume. Interview Day, we provide cards for the kids so they can prepare for interviews and so forth. And in this month, we plan to host a clothing drive where the teachers donate barely used professional dress clothing, and we can present it to the students who don't have it so they can be prepared in front of an interview or whatever professional activities they need to partake in. And that's something that I know and hope that lasts in West Ashley. And as of right now, I've been single-handedly planning the first 5K of the West Ashley community as a fundraiser for DECA. And I think that's something that's going to be huge and has the potential to be even bigger. And I'm just glad to say that I'm able to leave my mark. And I'm even more proud to say that YEScarolina helped me get the ink to leave that mark. And now I'm off to Georgetown University with Tim Scott in the back door of Washington, D.C. Who knows what opportunities will be open there. And I have all of it to owe to YEScarolina and the opportunities they've given me and the doors that they opened for me. And I am incredibly grateful, and I will forever be grateful. And I'm glad I got to share that experience and that story with you all today. Thank you.